Big announcement from Microsoft worth talking about. They just bundled Claude Cowork into Microsoft Office. What does that mean for us as business owners? Well, they launched Copilot Cowork, which is Claude Cowork, into Microsoft Office with the same personalization layer as 365's Copilot. So your employees are probably already talking to Copilot in order to get some stuff done. So what was ironic is it's the same product that wiped 220 billion off of Microsoft's market cap. Now they're working with Anthropic and they are just implementing it into their software. So it's shipped as a default feature inside Office 365, which is probably something you already use. If you're a CEO, founder, or operator trying to turn all this AI nonsense into actual business value, you're in the right place. This is AI Operator. This is a show for people who are done with all that hype and all the demos and all the AI content that sounds really clever but changes nothing. And also done with the super technical explanations that you see online. The Moonshots podcast, you might see some of that. It's all high level, what's happening in the world, but it doesn't break it down into strategic business insights, which is my goal on this podcast. So this is why we're talking about this announcement from Microsoft. So every episode in this podcast is going to be about practical workflows, real use cases like this one, and how to use AI to save time, to improve output, and drive real business value, drive real ROIs inside your business. I can promise there'll be less geekery, not no geekery, and more execution. So at the end of every episode, we're going to have an execution step, how to use this insight. So let's get into it. So I was reading the Innermost Loop, which is Dr. Alexander Weisner-Gross. He puts out a newsletter which comes out every day at this point, and it's all about the latest developments in AI. Absolutely brilliant guy, fantastic source of news, just not business facing yet. So my goal is to, again, break it down into business facing. If you want me to do more of these episodes, let me know. Reach out to me on X at Michael Pullman, or reach out to me with an email, podcast@oneaipod.com. Okay, so let's talk about why this matters. Why does Microsoft announcement even matter? Well, it means you don't have to buy another tool. It's probably the most significant enterprise software distribution event since Microsoft started bundling Internet Explorer with their operating system, with Windows, right? So what we're seeing now is AI native work capabilities can become the default. Every Microsoft 365 seat that you have in your organization now has Claude Cowork. So the fact that it's bundled is massive. It's just going to be adopted by people. The other beautiful thing about this is Microsoft's agreements. When you read their legal agreements, they specifically say, we will not use your data, we will not read your email. Whereas Google particularly, they don't have that type of agreement. Google just says we can pretty much do anything with your data. So something to consider is the legal ramifications, the fact that Microsoft specifically says we're going to be careful with your data, we're going to preserve your data. Now you've got Claude inside Word, Excel, Outlook, Teams, super powerful. Now I haven't used it. That's probably the next episode that we need to do, is show you how to use this stuff. But the companies that figure out how to use this first are going to run faster than those who are still debating or still putting up board presentations on whether to adopt AI, that sort of stuff, right? You just don't wait. If you're watching this podcast, you're an early adopter. Get stuck in. Like in the last episode, I was talking about skunkworks projects. Run some skunkworks projects to get AI into your people's hands, and you'll be blown away with the results. Okay, what actually is this whole thing? What it's doing is bringing the frontier AI. Now, what does frontier mean? Well, frontier is just a word that says they're at the bleeding edge, the cutting edge of what's going on in AI, frontier. They're building that in with Microsoft's 365 personalization layer. So it's learning all the time your organization's context, the person that it's working with, it's learning their writing style, it's learning their projects, what they're working on. And in time, I think it will be able to map the workflows. And I'm hopeful that it will be able to surface insights like, hey, did you know you could automate this part of the workflow? It's going to be really powerful if we adopt it. And the organizational immune system, the people who are the laggards in the technology, in the software, in your organization are going to say, no, we can't adopt this. It's not secure. Just make it happen. It's going to be huge. It's massive because Claude Cowork had spooked Microsoft and their market cap dropped by 220 billion, but their response, Microsoft's brilliant response, was just to license the technology and embed it into 365. It turns the competitive threat into a feature. So it's a move that might be worth studying for your business. Is there a way you can turn a threat into a feature? That's pretty cool. Alongside that, Google's rolled out Gemini. So Gemini is very, very powerful in Google Workspace, and it's just tit for tat. It's Microsoft adopting Claude is Google adopting Gemini. Right, same thing. The other part of it is when you use Gemini inside Google Workspace, you can just have it help me create something. We're not starting with blank documents anymore and writing things. We're saying, okay, I want to create a workflow for my flight school where I want the instructors to sign in every day and tell me what they're going to do and then how much flying they think they're going to do. And then we want to check that at the end of each day. We're building a workflow for that and then talking it through with the AI and starting to build that workflow, which is a pretty good idea, actually. I might have to build that workflow myself. Now, the reason why they're doing this is everyone's looking to be the platform, right? The platform is just a piece of software that everybody uses. Now, Microsoft have already got the platform, so they need the killer features. So that's why they've implemented Claude. What everybody's looking for is that all these major productivity suites are looking to become the platform. So if you use Google Workspace in your organization, they want to become the platform. Office 365, and so on and so forth. In my time at Zoom really wanted to become the platform. Unfortunately, the company lost their way. They focused on this phone thing, Zoom phone, when we should have just been focusing on video conferencing. But hey, that's a story for another day. If you're interested in that, reach out to me on X and tell me, and I'll tell that story. Okay, what does it mean for us? Well, our entire workforce, everybody who's sitting at a computer in your organization has got an AI coworker who can sit alongside them and execute tasks. They just don't really know it yet. That's the opportunity and it's the risk. So the companies that win in this marketplace will be the ones that implement it and adopt it and showcase great use cases of it, that train their teams to use it. So it's just a matter of implementing a best practice, right? And saying, okay, we've got this product. I want you to come up with the best use cases. We'll showcase the 5 best use cases, and the 5 best use cases get a $500 gift card. Simple as that, just incentivize it. That can form the training platform for the people who aren't yet using the AI. And it's going to let you do one of 2 things. Each person's going to be 3 times more productive, or you're going to do the same amount of work with three times less people. Choice, opportunity, and probably a combination of. That's how you win. How you lose market share to your competitor is if you leave it as an unused button on the toolbar for the next 18 months. Don't let that happen. You've got access to this amazing tool. The models are the worst they're going to be now ever. They're only going to get better and better. Implement it, use it, try it, see how it goes. For mid-sized businesses, that's our businesses, so between 50 and 1,000 employees, you don't have to get a new vendor. You don't need to do an implementation. If you're on 365, and most of us are at this size company, you've already got it. So the question for us as leaders is whether we're going to make adoption a priority, or are we just going to leave it to chance? We're just going to give it to people and let them use it and see how it goes. Incentivize it. Make it a competition. Make it fun. Incentivize people to win, and you'll be blown away with the results. Now, there's also a hiring implication here. So when you're hiring, if you're a business leader hiring inside your business, the candidates who know how to work with AI tools are the ones that are going to rise to the top. Somebody who's already been using Claude Cowork and can showcase, hey, here's what I've built using Claude Cowork, they're going to be the ones that you want to hire. So it's a trainable skill for sure, but it has to become a baseline expectation. You must know how to use AI tools. This stuff's fun. I love this stuff. Finance and reporting. So let's think about the finance and reporting function. Excel, AI inside Excel. Oh my God, that's going to be so powerful. So we're talking about natural language analysis of financial data. It can automatically generate reports, and you could automatically flag anomalies. So you have a giant spreadsheet of data. I did an episode breaking down how Claude would dissect a report So that is a hugely powerful piece of functionality. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. Excel, inside Excel, that's cool. Customer support, let's think about customer support. So you've got Outlook, you've got people serving customers via Outlook and maybe Zendesk or something like that. If we can then draft emails to people, so it means we're going to have more consistent responses. The AI, when it writes, is going to be aware of the sentiment. So if the customer is really upset, it's going to customize what it's writing, what it's suggesting for that person. And also that provides a huge amount of data for this approach works best if this sentiment is detected. So not only is it helping your employees right now, it's helping your future employees solve problems. So super powerful. I'm so excited about what this is going to do. Operations and HR, let's think about that. So operations, HR, lots of meetings. So meeting summaries, have it listen into your meetings. These drafting SOPs, that's a super powerful way to use Claude, is you just record you doing something and then it just drafts, okay, this is a standard operating procedure for this particular type of task. And then of course, once you've documented it step by step by step, now you take that and you turn it into a document. Once you've got the document, you turn it into an AI workflow and you've just freed up X number of person hours per week. Sales, I love this one. So when we're talking about implementing AI for sales, I did 15 years as a tech salesperson. I spent so much time drafting proposals. I used to sit down and write proposals. I probably spent 20 hours a week writing proposals. Guess what? That function's collapsed to nothing. You can now have AI just build a proposal. And I've used Claude to build proposals for my other business. And it's phenomenal. One-page proposal based on everything that we've talked about. I'll flash up an example for you. Very, very cool. And then, of course, every time you have a Teams call, you can then generate notes inside your CRM. Competitive research, there's two places that you can use competitive research in sales. One is you research your competitors and figure out what they're good at and what you're good at and present that to the customer. Then you become a trusted advisor. The other place is research your customers' competitors and then surface to them what they're good at and what their competitors are very good at. That is a powerful way to become a trusted advisor. So two places you can use it in sales. Right, let's talk about how to implement it. So if you were going to pull Office 365 off the shelf right now, implement it in your organization and have people use Cowork. I alluded to it earlier, but just pick one team, like sales or marketing or finance, and just run a 3-week pilot. So an activation sprint across that function, and then assign one internal champion inside that team to document wins and blockers. It works well in this case, but it doesn't work well in this case. And we talked in the last episode about the AI workflows, how you have a workflow, and then at certain points, it goes out to a human as an exception handler, continue the AI workflow out to a human as an exception handler or a task that requires human judgment. And like I said, make it fun. Run a competition. Have people come up with the best AI workflow and give them a $500 gift card. Pick the top 5. There's some really cool, fun stuff that you can do with implementing AI. You give a prize out to 5 people, $2,500 of gift cards, 500 each. The number of AI workflows that will come out of that people will implement in your organization. If you've got 5 winners, you've got 250 workflows. Now imagine the compounding effect of those time savings. Right, tools required for this, Microsoft 365 with the Frontier Early Adopter Program enabled. Check your subscription tier. Just jump in and get your IT team to activate that. Now, you've got to think about who owns it. So giving it to everybody is one thing, but who's going to own it? It's not your IT department. You cannot depend on IT to implement this technology. It's not a technology implementation. It's a workflow change program. It's changing the way people work. So head of operations or chief operations officer, as long as they've got the vision to think about it, or as CEO, run it yourself. Or if you're a business leader inside an organization, just run it yourself. IT is going to enable it. Operations is going to exploit it, actually come up with use cases. I'm thinking back on previous technology implementations I've done at organizations, and really it took 4 weeks for people to start using it and embedding it in their workflow, and 8 weeks to see a real impact. But I suspect that that's going to change because you can use the AI to teach you about AI. So I think the technology adoption curve is going to be shorter. I would imagine that we're going to be able to implement this stuff faster because the AI is the most patient teacher in the world. You can ask it, teach me about AI, and it will just start teaching you step by step. Implementation playbook. Number 1, audit your current 365 license and confirm whether you've got Copilot already included or if it requires an upgrade. Then identify some high frequency, high volume tasks that your team does manually and have them implement this and see if it works for you. Try and make it work and incentivize it using that competition we talked about. Assign an internal Copilot champion. That's pretty powerful because their job for 30 days, the 30 days of the implementation, is going to be to use Copilot for everything and report back where there's specific examples of time saved or quality gained. This gives you specifics, tasks and minutes saved. Focus specifically on the use cases that you identified in step 2. So those high frequency, high volume tasks, and say, look, here's how we could do it. Don't do a generic like, this is what AI can do session. Nobody wants a feature dump. Look at a specific use case and how it could be implemented. Maybe your first step is to give it to everybody. Second step, incentivize it. Third step, run a 90-minute training with those people who implemented the AI workflows. And then after 30 days, review the reports and quantify the savings. And then you can build out a business case to go to the board and say, look, we're going to expand this activation. We're going to bring in another AI tool to help more. Look at what we've done so far. And it's really simple. If you're a business leader, it's this tool frees X hours per week at a cost of Y dollars per employee per month. Now, if you're a CEO or an operator inside a business trying to turn AI into real operational leverage, so making structural changes on how your company works, I'm building a course that's going to walk through exactly how to implement these systems. You can join the pre-release list at oneaipod.com and get early access before it opens. If you jump in early, you'll get the chance to shape the course exactly what you want it to be. That's it for today. Everybody reach out to me on X at Michael Pullman or podcast at oneaipod.com. And let's have a conversation about how you're using AI and how it's changing your business. Thanks, everybody.